All right. Well, I want to welcome everyone to the Women Veterans Alliance webinar. This is our first one of 2021. And if we haven't met, and again, just to remind everybody to please mute yourself. We want to make sure that this is everybody can listen appropriately here. And so if we haven't met, my name is Melissa Washington. I'm a Navy veteran, and I'm also the CEO and founder of Women Veterans Alliance. And the main focus of our organization is to connect women with resources in each other, and we do that through networking, through our online events. And as you see, we have been very active and trying to stay active and trying to pivot like many organizations do so we can continue to be able to help women veterans where they're at. So if you're not a member, we are a membership-based organization. This webinar is a free webinar. If you haven't seen, if you're not a member, we did have a special going on. If you joined by January 3rd, you would be able to receive a Women Veterans Alliance pin, as well as a Women Proudly Served dog tag pin. And I want to go ahead and extend that. So if you join by this Friday, in addition to all your other membership benefits, you'll receive those 2 pins, and you can register online where you registered for the webinar here. And if you haven't heard, if you're not aware, or if you've heard the word Unconference, that is our signature annual event that takes place once a year. We will be in Las Vegas, October 8th through the 10th at the Tropicana Resort. And stay tuned for information regarding early bird pricing. This event will be a hybrid event where you will have the opportunity to be able to join virtually or actually come to Las Vegas and experience it in person. If you haven't connected with us, we're on all social media platforms. Feel free to like us, comment, connect. One of the things too, again, recording this, it'll be on YouTube, and previous webinars as well as other webinars that we've had or TV appearances, those are on our YouTube channel. So if you go to YouTube, Women Veterans Alliance, and subscribe to our channel, we've got fantastic content that is listed on there. And if you haven't signed up, next Wednesday, and we try to do our webinars every Wednesday, a webinar Wednesday, and it's going to be with our partner Experian. This is a great thing that we all should know, is understanding our credit scores and ways we can improve that. And we actually will have somebody from Experian that will be conducting this webinar, and she's also a veteran as well. So without further ado, I'm gonna get rid of all the commercials, and let's get started with our fantastic speaker who we have here today. And Susan, she's here, and she's a holistic high performance coach, founder of Treadgold Executive Development, best-selling author of The High Performing Women, award-winning speaker and transformational leadership trainer with nearly 2 decades of investment banking experience at Morgan Stanley, Merrill Lynch, and Citigroup. Welcome, Susan.
Oh, thank you for that, Melissa. I'm thrilled to be here. Let me just share my screen. It says that I can't share it while you're still sharing. Let me just try that again. Oh, I got it. Here we go. So today I'm going to share 6 ways to create a plan to revive and thrive. And if you're here today, that's probably your objective in some way. And it's really all about energy. And please do go ahead and put questions in the chat. And if I have time, I'll get to them at the end. So, we've all been going through a lot of change in the past 9 months. And change takes energy, right? So today I'm going to share with you my model of high performance that you can use to level up your energy, as well as a tip or 2 to take action on straight away. So again, please put any questions in the chat and I'll get to them at the end, time permitting. Just a little brief bit about my background. Melissa already gave a great introduction. I do point out I'm a mother of 2, which has given me some unique insights into managing and motivating tricky characters, as well as managing my energy. I spent nearly 2 decades in the financial services industry as an investment banker. I have dual nationality. I lived in London for 23 years, and now I'm back in the USA in North San Diego, California, not far from Camp Pendleton. And for the past 12 years, I've been a holistic high performance coach, a corporate leadership trainer, and really an energy biohacker, I like to say, working with 4 patented cutting edge products. So I am particularly passionate about empowering women to level up without burning out or opting out. The research done by McKinsey showed that when women start dipping into their energy reserves, they are more likely than men to burn out or opt out. And I believe the world needs more high performing women in their homes, in their communities, in their workplaces. And to support this mission, I have co-authored 2 books in the Success University for Women series. And I also wrote the Amazon #1 bestseller, The High Performing Woman. And inside it, I have 52 take action tips for greater confidence, energy, and impact. So, you know, 1 for every week, or gorge on them all in one go, like a Game of Thrones box set. So the reason that I wrote the book is that too many of the women that come to me for coaching are wired and tired, and they're not getting the results that they want in their life. You know, and I too was once one of those people. It took the gift, if you would say, of burnout and cancer to get my attention. So over the past 12 years, I've been coaching and studying high performing individuals. At the same time, seeking the key to holistic success, not just personal success, not just professional success, but both. And this gave me sufficient time to observe that IQ is not the key to success. You know, sure, being smart helps in life, but there are plenty of unhappy, burnt out, clever people out there. EQ, emotional intelligence, you know, this is even more important than IQ. You know, and according to a study by Dr. Travis Bradbury, I don't know if anyone's ever seen his TED Talk, but EQ is responsible for 58% of your job performance. But that doesn't ensure success either. Plenty of nice guys finish last. So what is it? What gets us from where we are to where we want to be? Energy. According to a survey done by Project Energy with 90,000 people across 18 countries, it is the one single common denominator in lasting success in virtually anything. And success being defined as achieving above and beyond standard norms over the long term. So energy awareness, EA, is where we should be focusing our attention. The key to success is being aware of where your energy comes from, where it goes, and how to maximize it with energy boosting habits. You know, the more energy you have, the more results you're able to create in your relationships, in your career, even in your finances. So I always like to say, you know, imagine what it would be like to operate at a 10 out of 10, even for just one day out of the week. I like to think of your body when it comes to energy, like your body is a pot and your energy is the water. You know, if you have a full pot of water, you're able to cook up all sorts of wonderful things in your life. You know, the possibilities are limitless. You know, if you allow half of that water, the energy, to leak out, your options become limited. Fail to heed the warnings when you're nearly on empty, and you will have plenty of feedback if you choose to notice. You'll be facing burnout. So having worked through this awareness myself and having coached many clients through this, it's now becoming clear that there were commonalities in terms of where people get their energy and also where they get their leaks. So before I go into that, the first thing I'd like to do is an energy check. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes and assess your own energy levels at the moment on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being physically and mentally exhausted, a bit like Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh, and 10 being bursting with energy like Tigger. So go ahead and close your eyes now. And I'd like you to take 3 deep belly breaths, in for 4, hold for 7, and out for 8. 3 deep belly breaths. Get still and present to how you feel in your mind and body, in through the nose and out through the mouth. So where are you on that scale of 1 to 10? What I'd love is if you were to comment your number, if you could put that into chat. I'm trying to see if I can see chat. Let me stop share for a second. See if anybody's putting numbers in. I'm getting a 7, a 5, 4-ish, 7, 9, 7, 5. All right, thank you, everyone. We've got a diverse spread of where people's energy is now. So let me go back to my presentation. And hopefully, if you are below or 9 or 10, I hope that you will go away with some real strategies that you can use to get towards that 9 or 10. Because it's all well and good knowing if your energy is low or high, but real energy awareness comes from analyzing why it is low or high, knowing your preferred way of topping up your energy pot, and being clear about what the best actions are for you to take to keep your energy pot topped up. Imagine how your life would change if you felt more in control of your energy. And the good news is you are in control. I don't know if anyone has heard of the success formula. My mentor, Jack Canfield, shared this with me, and it was really been transformational for me. E plus R equals O. Event plus response equals outcome. To be successful, you have to take 100% responsibility for your outcomes. The event has already happened. You can't change the event, be it the weather, the economy, your boss's attitude, COVID, the bus showing up late. The only way you can change the impact or impact the outcome is by your responses. And it's called the success formula because successful people are great at being mindful and present and recognizing whether the actions they take get them closer or further away from the outcomes they want. It's a bit like the game of hotter or colder we played as kids. When you were getting closer to your destination, it became warmer, hotter, and then you were taking other actions that were taking you away and it would get cooler and cooler. Well, that's a little bit what the success formula is about. Noticing which responses are getting you closer to the outcome that you want. And the responses we have control over in our life are the thoughts we think, the images we visualize, and the actions we take. And all of these responses are really energetic choices that'll either get you closer or further away to the outcome you want. So this is my energy engagement wheel. It's in my book, The High Performing Woman, as well. And you could take a screenshot of this and enlarge it if that helps. But in my experience, we have 6 main energy sources that we proactively need to engage with. And most of us have an energy leak somewhere. And learning to leverage these 6 energy sources will really help you to find 6 ways you can create a plan to revive and thrive. So the first area of energy we need to engage with, which is at the top right, is what I call input energy. Input energy is the energy we get from the quality and quantity of the air, food, water, sleep, and supplements we put into our bodies. And this is really the foundation of our energy. If you haven't got this right, no amount of energy from the other areas will make up for it. Nothing can spring a leak in your energy pot faster than dinner at the Golden Arches of McDee's and getting to bed at 3. So what I'm talking about is 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night, clean, fresh air, drinking 4% of your body weight in water each day, and that's about 2 to 4 liters. A good quality supplement. I personally use a customized supplement based on my genetic profile, and you can contact me if you'd like to know more about that. Probiotics and digestive enzymes. 95% of your happy hormone, can't speak, happy hormone, serotonin, is made in your gut. I mean, I was shocked when I learned that. 95%. So an unhappy gut is an unhappy you. And, it of course goes without saying, always check with your doctor before starting any supplements. And eat an alkaline diet with lots of green foods, and green M&Ms do not count. Input energy is so fundamental. So even the healthiest set of beliefs cannot make up for exhaustion, inadequate fuel, and dehydration. And, this may seem like common sense, but common sense is not common practice. At the top of the input energy list is sleep. And this is even more than diet. It's so important. There's even a World Sleep Day now, and March is Sleep Awareness Month, which is a big movement with the high profile backing of Arianna Huffington. And that's really to counteract the pervasive cultural dismissal of sleep and how it's become to be considered a waste of time. Project Energy in New York reported a study, I thought this was fascinating, that was done with 2 groups of mice for 21 days. For 21 days, one group was given no sleep and one no food. And at the end of the 21 days, you had 100% group of dead mice and 100% and a group of skinny mice. So really my top tip for your personal energy plan is start prioritizing sleep. Simply put, sleep or die. And aside from your chance, to contribute to the Darwinian gene pool, a bit more sleep will also help your emotional regulation. And I'm sure, we've all witnessed a meltdown by a toddler who's missed a nap. Well, adults are really no different. I'm sure if you can think back to your last big argument, some element of sleep deprivation was probably involved. So easier said than done. So set a wind down alarm in the evening, and I'm gonna get yourself a pair of these really sexy blue light blocking beauties for your last 2 waking hours. I'm sure you can find something better than these that are blue light blocking. I got those several years ago. They look like trap shooting glasses. Tips are drink water like it's your job. Lack of water is the #1 trigger of daytime fatigue. Water delivers the oxygen in your blood to all your cells. So a mere 2% drop in body water can trigger fuzzy short-term memory, trouble with basic math, difficulty focusing on the computer screen or on a printed page. So drink your water. Get some raw green in your routine. Chlorophyll, which is green plant blood, is antibacterial, deodorizing, anti-arthritic, alkaline, oxygenating. According to a study done by Dr. Paul Kushikoft, digestive leukocytosis, which is inflammation caused by the elevation of white blood cells, is avoided during a meal if 50% of the food you eat is raw or heated below 118 degrees. So a great tip is to integrate more raw vegetables into your diet. Look after your microbiome. We're only 10% human. Bacteria cells outnumber human cells 10 to 1. It's our first, second, and third line of defense, starting with our skin, then our mucous membranes, and finally our gut. And a digestive, a tip, aside from the digestive enzymes and high quality probiotics, is fermented foods, kefir, sauerkraut, kombucha, miso. Those all help with your gut. Use antibiotics really as a last resort. You know, try natural antibiotics like ginger, garlic, turmeric, you know, essential oils like tea tree, lavender oil, oregano. Those are all boosters of the immune system. And I like to do intermittent fasting for cellular regeneration. The 2016 Nobel Prize for Medicine was won to work into autophagy, which happens when the body is in a fasted state. So try to fast. You know, I don't eat anything after 7 p.m. and I don't eat anything before 10 a.m. the next day. It's not like I'm not having breakfast, but I'm breaking my fast later because autophagy is called self-eating. So the cells vacuum up the damaged cells and recycle them when you're in a fasted state, when your body is getting a break from digestion. And for quality air, spider plants. Indoor air quality is 2 to 5 times worse than outdoor air quality. And a lot of us are spending a lot more time indoors right now. So spider plants absorb xylene and formaldehyde, and a plant called mother-in-law's tongue also absorbs benzene and trichloroethylene. So get yourself some plants, some indoor plants. Now, the next area is mind energy. And mind energy is energy you get from the thoughts you think, the images you visualize, the things that you seek. You know, are you satisfied with what you have? Do you seek meaningful pursuits? And the way that you organize yourself. So thinking negative thoughts, visualizing negative outcomes, AKA worrying, living inauthentically, and not following your purpose and passions, being disorganized. These are all things that can drain your energy and lead to overwhelm and burnout. There's a great book from a friend of mine called Pave It Forward. You know, it's about setting clear intentions for the day. In other words, visualizing exactly how you want things to go. I mean, most people spend more time in the morning filling themselves with dread or deciding what they want to wear than focusing on how they want to show up and feel. So take a moment, you know, even after this webinar, to pave it forward this afternoon. You know, how will you show up with the people you see? You know, what feelings will you choose to feel? You know, our thoughts create our feelings, and our feelings create our experience of life. So, you know, we need to choose our thoughts wisely. Nothing is more de-energizing and contagious as the choice to think negative thoughts and then to share them by blaming, complaining, gossiping, whinging, whining. You know, one way to boost your mind energy is to do a negativity detox. You know, and I actually credit this, you know, a negativity detox with the biggest promotion I ever got at Citigroup. You know, when you change, things around you change. So find an accountability partner in crime and commit to a week of negative, you know, a detox of negative thinking and speaking. You know, if you are caught complaining, blaming, gossiping, whining, you'll have to put your money where your mouth is. Make it a charity jar. And every time you get caught doing that, you have to make, whatever that amount is that you agree, you know, $1, 50 cents, whatever. You know, I challenge you to do this just for a week and then evaluate what kind of week you had. I mean, I think you'll be amazed. And for an extra ninja challenge, try catching yourself in the act of a negative thought and consciously choose another one. So the third area is the energy you get from the way, I call it connection energy. And that's the way, the energy you get from the way you interact and communicate with others. I mean, this is where self-awareness really plays a part, because the energy you bring to others is likely to be reflected in the energy they give back to you. And we see this with customer service all the time. So what I'd like you to do now, if you have a piece of paper, is quickly jot down the top 5 people you spend time with. You know, they may not be the most important people in your life. You know, that could be a work colleague or a boss. But in a way, they kind of are the most important energetically if they're the ones that are around you the most. And so what I'd like you to do then is to put a plus or a minus next to each one if they are adding or subtracting from your energy. And so I've always heard that you are the sum of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. Well, I could also say that, you know, your energy is the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So, you know, you can't change other people, you know, if they are an energy vampire, but you can change yourself. And as a result, they often change as well. So are you an energy vampire or an energy angel? You know, I have 3 little energy angel tips. First one is to have less conflict. A super easy thing is to banish the buts. Start notice your language. Every time you say something and then put the middle but in the middle, it negates everything that came before it. So for instance, oh my God, darling, that chicken dinner that you made last night was amazing, but I would have preferred roast potatoes. Now, compare that with, oh my God, that roast chicken that you made last night was amazing. And replace the but with and. And you know what? I bet roast potatoes would go really well with it too. So being really aware about your language. That's just a simple little tip. I have millions, but this is a short webinar. So banish the buts. Second one is understand introversion and extroversion. This plays a big part in connection energy. Understanding and being aware of the nature and amount of interaction that is optimal for you, as well as for the people in your circle of influence, is so important. Introverts will find too much social interaction draining, whereas extroverts will find being on their own too much really energy sapping. I mean, you know, we really are seeing this play out in situations related to lockdown right now. I mean, some of the introverts I know are actually energized by all this time on their own. And then there are extroverts, friends of mine, that are really getting cabin fever. So understanding whether this introversion and extroversion has nothing to do with social skills or energy. I mean, it's social skills or confidence. It has to do with energy. So really understanding who you are and the people around you is helpful. You know, as an extrovert, for example, you could be inadvertently exhausting an introverted friend or colleague or partner by demanding excessive talking and time together. Now, the third little tip I have is to appreciate, validate, acknowledge. And I have a little 5-penny rule. You know, have a little shot glass on my desk and I dump it out every morning, the 5 pennies. And the only way they get back into the shot glass by the end of the day, and that's the challenge, is when I appreciate, validate, or acknowledge somebody. I mean, people are starved of this. And you know, the great thing about it is when you appreciate and validate other people and acknowledge them, they tend to do it back. So it tends to be a win-win situation in terms of energy. Now, the fourth area of energy is move energy. And this is the energy we get from the moves and shapes we give our body. And that is from everything from facial expressions to body language to exercise. You know, are you hunched over your iPhone or computer all day? Or do you practice your Amy Cuddy power pose? And that's a great TED Talk if you haven't seen it, Amy Cuddy from Harvard. Do you practice great posture? Do you pursue an active lifestyle? And the fastest way to change your energy is to change your physiology. Expansive body language, you know, if we can all just do the Amy Cuddy power pose right now. Expansive body language has been shown to actually raise testosterone, which is related to confidence and energy, and decreases cortisol, the stress hormone. So that's why things like yoga are so energizing and de-stressing, because 90% of the poses are expansive body language. And sitting is the new smoking. Our heart pumps our blood, but our lymph system pumps our lymphatic fluid. And we are sitting, you know, even before this lockdown, for the most unprecedented amount of time during our day. Never in human history have we been on our butts so much. And now we have Zoom butt to add to that. And pumping our lymph through our body is what detoxifies our body. It is so necessary. So that's why sitting is the new smoking. You know, lymph is pumped specifically by vertical jolting actions. And so some of my recommendations are a mini rebounder. I don't know if you can even see, I don't know if you can see behind me, but, you know, during the pandemic, that's one of the start of it back in March. That's one of the things my family got straight away, is we got a little mini rebounder, and, you know, I would bounce on it between Zooms, and my kids would bounce on it between, you know, their virtual school lessons. And I have to say, it was a real lifesaver. I mean, you can also use a jump rope, and there's also some great Qigong exercise energizers, you know, and it involves moving your fluid to your lymph centers, which tend to be your armpits and in your groin. So like firmly tapping in on both sides, and then standing up and tapping on either side of your ankles, and then working up to your groin on either side. And that is you know, if you can just do that, that is such an excellent energizer. If you do that a few times a day to get that lymph fluid flowing, it'll definitely make you feel more energized. So now I'd like to talk about the space energy. You know, is your space crushed under clutter and chaos? Closets full, but nothing to wear? You know, or do you have space for your creativity to flourish and room to let in the new and good? I mean, cluttered space to me is like a physical representation of a big undone to-do list, you know, and having things in your space that irritate you, you know, that you tolerate, will energetically chip away at you. I mean, these things can be directly on your body space, you know, like a poor fitting bra or shoes that pinch. I mean, I think that's one thing that we have less of during this time, is a lot of people are in much more comfortable clothes and realizing, you know, how much more energizing that is. You know, it could be a chip in your windscreen, things in your space that provoke a negative thought or a big sigh throughout the day is negative space energy. And when you free yourself from the mental burden of space drains, you'd be amazed at how quickly the things that you want in life arrive. So how can you bring more energy in your space? I mean, you can light a candle. I like having a candle lit, flickering in the background on my desk. You can throw away 5 things every day. Trust me, you will never run out of things. Just start in that junk drawer. Or, you know, get that chip in the windshield fixed. You can also arrange photographs of nature scenes. I mean, there's been research shown in hospital rooms, people with views on nature recover faster than other people. So if you can set up your desk to face outside, I'm actually facing a lovely outdoor scene behind my computer. Or if you can't, if you can put inspiring, views of nature or, photographs around you, that will definitely help with your space energy. The sixth and final energy source is pause energy. And this is the energy we get when we unplug, tune in, slow down, get still, and connect to ourselves and our spiritual source. Are you a road runner, adrenaline junkie, or do you take time out, to go for a stroll and to reflect and to recharge? My, one of my tips is to really, turn off your phone and stare out a window or go sit in nature and do a body scan for 10 minutes. This is really the mindfulness, the meditative piece. Or if you're not into that, simply grant yourself 10 minutes of nothing. Just close your eyes and breathe deeply. Vision is actually our most oxygen intensive bodily function, which is why when we get injured, our body takes away our consciousness, become unconscious, so the oxygen can be used where you've been injured. So just closing your eyes for 10 minutes, and breathing deeply will reoxygenate you and make you feel more energized. So what I'd like to do now is to analyze your energy. And to make this a bit clear, I've developed an energy engagement wheel, which categorizes our energy. I've told you about the 6 main sources that we've just come through. And what I'd like to do is now take a moment to plot your current energy for each category on a scale of 1 to 10 on the wheel. So what you would do is you would put, like, I don't know if you can see my cursor, but you would put a dot on a line at the center. You can just, quickly sketch this out on a notepad. You would put your dot on a line at the center if you're nowhere near having, for instance, input energy, or you would put it all the way to the outside, a 10, if it couldn't be better. And so I'll just describe some of the results. Like, for instance, input energy. You've got a strong immune system, you're well rested, you've got clear skin and eyes, you've got a hydrated body, you're thriving on an alkaline diet with quality supplements, and you've got fresh, clean air. So if if you're a 10 out of 10, plot the dot out here and not at all, put it towards the center. So for move energy, do you have good posture, confident body language, regular movement in your routine, exercise, smiles? So where are you on that line? Go ahead and plot yourself. With mind energy, do you have an attitude of positivity and gratitude? Are you organized? I put automaticity in there. Like, the more you can do that's automatic, the better, because it takes up less energy. So have it scheduled or stack those habits. You have clarity regarding your purpose and passions. You have a vision. Are you clear on your values? Are you confident and with high self-esteem? Plot yourself there. Pause energy, do you regularly get still and connect with your source of spirituality? Mindful, meditative. Do you do digital device detoxes? Do you take time for hobbies and moments of wonder with the arts and nature? Put yourself there. Then on connection, do you have positive, energizing relationships with the people in your circle of influence? You've got good customer service, intimacy and great sex, strong personal leadership. Are you authentic and present? Plot your connection energy. And then space energy. Do you have garments and shoes that fit well and feel good? Do you have an ergonomic workspace? Comfortable bed and home? Are you surrounded by objects and views that inspire? Do you have the desired scents and sounds around you? So go ahead and plot that. So does anyone have a flat tire? How's that going to roll? And the good news is that you can inflate it again with choices that increase your energy and radiance. Where is your biggest energy leak? Is it space energy with clutter? Is it mind energy with negative thinking? Is it your move energy with poor body language? Is it input energy with poor diet or lack of sleep? Is it pause energy where you have your leak with no self-connection pause time, or is it a stressful relationship? So bring awareness to that. Now, then you need to create your personal energy and radiance plan, and take energy for that, take action for more energy. I'd like to start raising our energy awareness, and most of us have a preferred way of getting energy when we're feeling drained. What is yours? Know that and know what you can do for a quick boost. Do you go to space energy, by going to your own special Zen place? Do you have a big clear out? Or do you, try to think positive thoughts or read affirmations and focus on your vision of success, or think of things that you're grateful for? That's mind energy. Or pause energy. Do you go out for a walk in nature or meditate or practice mindfulness? Or when you're feeling really de-energized, do you go looking for a big hug for connection energy, or call an energy angel friend, or meet them for coffee or a beach walk or whatever? Or do you go eat a healthy meal, have a green smoothie, get a good night's rest, or drink a glass of water? Or do you go to move energy? Do you go for a run or straighten up your posture? Get out of a slump and look up and smile. So, what is your preferred way to re-energize? So if you go to susantreadgold.com, I have 3 free tips from my book. And my favorite one overall is Win Your Morning. And in that, there are 10 tried and tested actions to win your morning that incorporate all of the areas of the energy wheel. And that's as follows. Write down at least 3 new things you're grateful for each day. Studies have shown that people who practice an attitude of gratitude have less stress and depression, more resilience and energy, and improved sleep and immune systems. Second one is meditate for the same positive side effects and more. Third, prioritize your one big task of the day. Then make sure you eat that frog first thing. Fourth, set intentions for the day. Look at what is going on in the day's agenda and decide how you want to show up and feel. What would make today great? Ask yourself that. 5, decide who you can appreciate or reach out to that day. And then, plan to positively surprise them. 5, repeat a positive affirmation. Every cell in your body is eavesdropping on your thoughts. So, choose them wisely. Drink a glass of water when you are chronically dehydrated. Move your body. There are a lot of 7-minute workouts. There's a great one by Johnson & Johnson, if you just Google it, where it has the 12 core exercises that exercise every part of your body. Do it 30 seconds each with a few seconds break in between. It's only 7 minutes. Even a few minutes a day can make a big difference. Number 9, read something that'll make you healthier, wealthier, wiser. Just a passage or a few pages, that can inspire, entertain, educate, or motivate, whatever you're looking for. And as Admiral William H. McRaven said in his commencement address at University of Texas, make your bed. Accomplishing the first simple task of the day, it gives you momentum and much more. And, all else fails, you come home at the end of the day with a great, well-made bed. So work out a morning routine. If this is too restrictive to you, I mean, work out one for you so you can create a life, that you don't want a vacation from. And like bathing, it's best done daily. So what are you going to do to start? And if you're stuck for ideas, I invite you to sign up for my free 21-day personal energy plan. That's at www.tedlondon.com. Every day for 3 weeks, you'll be sent a 1-minute video inviting you to do an energy activity from one of the 6 areas. And feedback from this has been, after the first week, you'll feel a bit different. After the second week, other people will start to notice something different about you. And after 3 weeks, I think you'll be well on your way to creating at least one 10 out of 10 energy day. And I also have a weekly Take Action Tuesday tip, which is 1 email a week with inspiration for your personal and professional development. So I also have other ways of working with me. You can look on my website and take action. I'd love you to just put into chat one thing that you can do to bring more energy into your life. As old Ben Franklin said, energy and persistence conquer all things. I do also have a focused reset jumpstart program for people who want greater energy, clarity, and purpose without the stress. So there's a special 20% discount code, Focus20, that's valid until the end of January. So you can see that at susantreadgold.com/focus reset. So that's that. I'm going to stop my share. I think I was just under an hour. So I love that I'm seeing that some things that you can do if you have Hashimoto's, as raw greens are not recommended. I think Hashimoto's is related to thyroid. I'm not a doctor or an expert there, but there is a woman named Robin Openshaw, and she had Hashimoto's and cured herself from it with diet. She's also known as the green smoothie girl. So maybe you could look at that. So focusing on one thing, that's a great, meaningful step. Well done, Gail. Karen, strive to be more positive every day. I mean, and sometimes, it's not always just, it's not just positive thinking. In that area of positive psychology, it is taking positive actions of the things that are going to give you joy over the long term. Clean your closet, Julie, love it. Priorities, movement, positive thoughts. Thank you, Donna. So lots of great ideas here. So if anybody else has any questions, Melissa, I'm happy people want to unmute if they have any other questions. Otherwise, you want to wrap up?
So, Susan, this was fantastic. I mean, what a great way to start off the year. I wrote several things down, and some of them reminders, so a little kick in the butt. But I did like the banish the butts, because we're always used to saying that. But so I definitely like that, and I need to eat more raw greens. So that's several of my takeaways.
Thank you. I'm glad that you were able to get 1 or 2 tidbits in here. Like I said, some of these things are common sense, but common sense is not always common practice. Thank you, Sabina. Thank you for everybody's comments. If you have any questions, I don't know, do they have the ability to unmute, Melissa? I'm happy.
Absolutely.
I'm available for another couple of minutes. If anybody.
Did you want to share in the chat just whether your email or phone number or website?
Sure.
That way they have that.
put that in there. Okay, there's some of the ways that you can help me. Oh, and also if you wanted the free tips, that's just at Treadgold.com without the focus reset. Thank you, Donna. Much appreciated. We all have to be looking after our physical and mental health and our energy right now, and for others around us.
Well, thank you, everyone. And Susan has her contact information in the chat. Also, this will be on YouTube. So if you want to go back and watch it again, or if you want to share with other people, as this is really great information and can't be more timely than today. So again, Susan, greatly appreciate it. And I thank you all for attending. And I'll also email out this presentation to all of you as well. So you have the link to the YouTube as well.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you. This is, again, fantastic.
Thank you, Sabina. Bye. The one sole person I can still see waving at me. It's always nice to see live faces.
There we go. Oh, Veronica came on. She came on there.
I'm sorry, I wasn't on because I was actually out exercising. So I just got back home.
I'll let you off with that one.
Thank you.
You raise your hand.
That's the proper type of multitasking that I like to see. Hi, Tanya.
Great.
Did anybody have any questions, or are we just going to sign off now?
We'll go ahead and end. And again, this is so good you feel it when you put your hands up.
I can actually show you this Qigong exercise that I have to see if you can see where I am. But this is a really great one in between, when you're in between the office, what I was talking about, when you cup your hands like this and you start on your ankles and you go all the way up. I don't know if you can see.
We can see.
And start on the other side. And you do that, go all the way up. You do this. And then I don't know if you can see it better here. And then you go, keeping your shoulders level. So just only like 1 minute, go like this, and then keeping your shoulders level, pat your shoulder, and then you hinge forward a little bit and you do your lower back. And that literally takes only a few seconds, and you will feel tingly and energized all over, and it's super good for lymph movement. But just doing that quickly between Zooms, everybody has time for that.
Very good. All right.
All right. Thank you
again.
I appreciate everybody here and what you've done for the country. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.